This is just a quick toolbox tour of my mobile mechanic toolkit that I use to work on boats and cars and other small vehicles, quad bikes, etc. in the field. This is not a big case, you can see that's my hand on it. This is a compact kit that I can have with me all the time. It weighs just less than 10 kilograms. It's in a Pelicase 1400 case, so it's completely waterproof. Let's open it up and we'll take a look at what's inside. I've got a lot of inspiration for this from other toolbox tours on YouTube, so I thought I'd film my own and see if anyone gets any ideas from this, because I've certainly plagiarised a lot of other people's ideas. So, as you can see, it's wrapped out this section in foam. This foam is just something that came in some Amazon packaging, and I've stuck it in there and cut the tools out. The tools stay in there, they don't fall down, they stay in because they've got magnets. These are just rare earth magnets that I've epoxied to the lid. So you can see they just go in there. They're a bit fiddly to get out, but you can do it. And the main thing is they don't go anywhere. Got the Knipex 250mm pliers wrench. And by the way, I know it's Knipex, but that's not how I or people around where I am say it, so I'm saying Knipex. Knipex combi pliers, I really like those. Knipex vice grips, the 250mm Cobra water pump pliers, and the smaller 125mm pliers wrenches. I really can't say enough good things about these pliers wrenches. I've used adjustable spanners for the longest time, and I've been switching to these. God, I should have done it sooner. They're brilliant. This section, this just lifts out. There's a hole here, and I'll show you what's under there in a minute, but basically this is just a piece of hardboard that I cut to fit in here. You can see these little plastic sort of mouldings that come in these Pelicases, and that allows this to sit on those mouldings, on those little tabs. They don't sit on the tools below, so it's always at that height. It's quite nice. In here we have just a US Pro cheap ratchet. It's 3/8 ratchet. It works fine. It's got the extendable handle, which is nice for when you're reaching down into a boat bilge or something like that, or up from underneath into an engine. You're only going to be putting, what, 80 foot-pounds, 100 foot-pounds max on a 3/8 drive ratchet. So it's not, the extension isn't about getting crazy torque, but it's just about getting access. Works really well. Cheap US Pro tools, Allen keys. Been really impressed with these actually. They work really well. Got two spark plug wobble sockets there. That's because primarily this case is about working on inboard and outboard boat engines, usually on the water or on the beach. Those are two common sizes. I have one for inboard Mercruisers, 3 litre, 4.3 litre, 5.7s, and the other one does most outboards. A couple of, well, three extensions. If I was to buy these again, I would get the wobble version. There's been a few times when I've struggled to get square on some fit fasteners, and I actually thought these were the wobble version, and they're not. So at some point maybe I'll change them out, but they work fine. Just an adapter there to convert the 3/8 drive to hex for something which is underneath this case. This is the multimeter that I use, mainly because it's a nice compact size to fit in this case. The bigger ones, the big rectangular ones that have like the fluke ones and whatever, they don't fit. This one works okay. I also like the fact that most of the time I'm crawling around in a boat engine bay or something looking for continuity or looking for 12 volts or 24 volts. The fact that this is in my hand and I just connect the common to a ground and I can test does actually work quite well. I have leads for this underneath here, which you'll see in a minute, for if I need to crocodile clip onto stuff, but actually that's been a decent purchase. And you'll note I keep the batteries separately. There's one battery in here, it takes two. So when I use it, I put one of these in, and I've got two spare batteries. I do that because what I was finding at first was the on button, and when I closed the case, it was accidentally turning it on. So by taking a battery out, never going to have a problem there. These are just some generic Amazon fisherman type scissors, which are actually really good. I think I got about 5 or 6 of them for 20 quid, and that's still the first set. I've not worn it out yet. Sockets, 3/8, going from, I think I go 8mm to 19mm. That's mainly what I use. Over here, I'll do this in a minute. I have this ox pry hammer bar thing. what's the joke when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail? Well, you know, most things get used as a hammer and a pry bar, so why not buy something that's actually designed to do both? Works really well actually. Hit things with it, lever things with it, jam it into places, jump up and down on it to get parts off. I like that a lot. That's the 10-inch version. They do a 12-inch version as well. Small tape measure, so for plants, that's self-explanatory. This is, I think it's silicone, but it's that specialist waterproof sealing tape. So it sticks to itself, not the pipe. So if you've got any water leaks, any pinhole leaks in, whether it's copper, whether it's plastic, whatever it is, you can wrap this around the leak whilst it's leaking and it will stick to itself and stop the leak. Obviously invaluable on a boat, but also I've used this at a friend's house when we were doing some shelving and we drilled through a water pipe. This saved the day. Roll of gaffer tape. This is Gorilla tape. It's not actually insulation tape. It's sorry, duct tape. It's just a narrow gaffer tape, which you can use for insulation tape in a pinch, but that's good. I use it because it's much smaller than the big roll that won't fit in here. Strap wrench, obviously anything circular, oil filters, fuel filters, get that off. Some file, 6-inch half round flat, fine. Not self, I was going to say self-locking, what we're talking about. Reusable cable ties, so obviously 1,000,001 uses for those, and some generic non-branded long nose pliers for when you just need to reach somewhere and grab a connector and yank it out. Double-ended pick, some abrasives for cleaning battery terminals, etc, etc, and this is a roll of combination spanners which go to 22mm, I think. 6mm to 22mm, couple of skip sizes at the end. But again, US Pro, not expensive, so if I drop them in the water, I'm going to be concerned, but fit and work quite well. And it's nice to be in the roll. Whip it out, shove it on the deck, put it on the floor, shove it on the deck of the boat, and there's your spanners. Yeah. So quick look what's in here. This is just a catch-all bag for all various things. That should have WD-40 in. I've used it all, I'll top it up. That's like machine oil or 3-in-1 oil where we are. So something's not moving, WD-40, and then afterwards leave it up with some oil. Metal spudgers, I think they're called. Just heavy duty little pry things for prying off well, little plastic clips, connectors, whatever you need. Use them quite a lot actually. They've been a good buy. I think they're for mobile phones and for PC repair, but I've been jamming them into everything in cars and engines, and they've held up pretty well. Anything else interesting in here? Let's have a look. Ratcheting screwdriver with the bits in the handle. There's the cables for the multimeter. Stanley knife, obviously. Tractor brake adjusting tool, pretty specialist, but you could jab a screwdriver in there, but that does actually work a lot better when you've got limited access. Pens, pencils, precision screwdriver, it's got all the bits in there. Various little holders of bits and things, and one of these small getting tight spaces, ratcheting bit drivers. When you need one, you need one. Picks, punches, chisels I think I've got in here somewhere. Needle files, surprising how often they get used. PTFE tape. Paint pen marker, use that all the time when I'm taking bolts off or fasteners to mark that I've either where they need to go back to or that I've tightened it. A couple of wire brushes, a soft one and a hard one, small cable ties. Hex bit drivers for the ratcheting screwdriver. And then the magnet tool for when you drop something, which you do all the time in a boat bilge. Extension. These are long posi, Phillips and flathead drivers. And the reason why I have these is because recessed fasteners seem to come across them more and more, vehicles, boats, whatever. I'm trying to get that in, and this is too wide. So get rid of that. And now you basically got a normal screwdriver. So they're invaluable actually. And that's about it. So I'll put all this back in there now, but hopefully that gives you some ideas. It's worked great for me. I've been using this setup for about 3 years now. I feel it's pretty optimized. The only thing that isn't in there, which I would like, is actually some diagonal cutters. The combo pliers have the cutting edge, but this distance here means quite often you can't get in to use that cutting edge, and I resort to having to use the Stanley knife to cut cable ties off or things like that. So if I had the space, I would have a set of diagonal cutters, but I don't have the space because this tool kit is full. So that's it. That's the only thing I would think I would actually like. So thanks for watching.